The International Newcomers Academy is classified as a junior high school. It houses grades 6 through 9. There are approximately 338 students, the majority of which are Hispanic. The racial outline of the student population is very diverse. There are approximately 12.1% African American students, 58.3% Hispanic students, and 27.2% Asian or Pacific Islander students. The majority of these students are economically disadvantaged, at 83.1% of the students being classified in this category. All of the students that attend INA are limited English proficient, which means they do not speak English as their first language. Because of this, all of these students are considered high risk. There are approximately 7 students per teacher at INA, which aids in student success. Many may consider the language barrier an issue as an educator at INA, but they implement the QTEL program. QTEL stands for Quality Teaching for English Learners, which proves to be working for this institution. The population of the community surrounding INA comes in at about 46,488 people, with an average of 3,824 people per square mile. The majority of the housing in the area, although mostly rental properties, are houses. The average house in the area is valued around $182,700. INA can be considered a diamond in the rough. Unfortunately, its existence and impact on the community seem to be widely unknown to businesses and residents in the area. My experience at INA was a little different than most. I have the opportunity of helping in a 9th grade Algebra 1 class. I was not assigned a specific student to tutor. Instead, during the independent practice portion of the lesson, I help any student that may need it. The largest barrier I experienced was by far the language barrier. It has amazed me to see the progress the students have made in speaking English in just a few short weeks. I have grown relationships with a couple of the girls in the class, one from Mexico and one from Africa. Unfortunately, the student from Mexico had to leave a few weeks into my experience at INA for back surgery. The student from Africa had a very difficult time communicating with me at first, but as the weeks have progressed, I have seen her English improve as well as her math skills. As with any classroom, English proficient or not, keeping their attention and keeping them free from distractions are always a struggle. I am lucky to work in a classroom that uses a variety of different learning styles. One of the things done in this classroom often is working in pairs. One student will read aloud while the other writes down the information, and then they will work the problems together. This is often referred to as a sage and scribe activity. Not only is this helping with their math skills, but also with learning English. There are often dictionaries from a variety of languages translated to English strewn about the class. They also do many interactive portions during lessons. They often get to write on a smartboard and interact in that way. One of the most important lessons I learned about INA was the fact that you never really know what the educational background of the students that are coming into your classroom are. Some of them may not have been in school for months, maybe even years. Some may never have attended school regularly. It is important in any classroom, English proficient or not, to consider where your students are coming from. In the 2 girls I developed relationships with in my classroom, the one from Mexico clearly had a stronger educational background. At the beginning of each class, the students participate in a do now, which is to assess their prior knowledge of a subject matter, a very important aspect of the educational process. Throughout the semester, as I would walk into the classroom, it was always evident the amount of planning that went into each lesson, not only with how the lesson went, but also in the way the students responded. It is clear to students if you are unprepared as an educator, and many times it causes them to not buy into the concepts you are presenting. This has been a very educational semester at INA, and I am thrilled with some of the new ideas that I have learned. Experience in the classroom is priceless, and the only way you can truly prepare yourself for what is to come.